cells. Now I'm calling you cells because, well, you are cells. A bunch of cells smooshed together into a big clump called whatever your name is. Now today I'm going to be teaching you about cells. First of all, what is a cell, you may ask? Well, a cell is the basic building block of all living things. A cell is a basic organism that in groups will make tissue. When tissue is in groups, it will make organs. And when organs are in groups, they will make body systems, which then will create all living things. The cell is made of the following: the cell membrane, aka the cell wall. The cell wall surrounds the cell and it allows nutrients and waste to enter and leave. The nucleus. The nucleus is basically the brain, which this controls what happens in the cell. It contains DNA and chromosomes, the genetic information that cells need to grow and reproduce. Cytoplasm. This is a jelly-like substance in which chemical reactions will happen. Mitochondria. These are the powerhouse of the cell and produce the energy that the cell needs to live. They are structures where respiration takes place. Did you know that the more mitochondria you have, the faster you will go, the stronger you will be, and the more athletic you will be? Just like Usain Bolt. Cells in the human body do lots and lots of different jobs. Today I am going to briefly talk about 3 of these jobs. Brain cells make up the functional tissue in the brain. There are 2 types of brain cells: the neuron and the glia. The adult brain contains about 100 billion neurons. These send information using electricity, enough to power an LED light. It's crazy. You could light up your Christmas tree with a brain. The rest of the brain tissue is structural or connective tissue called the stroma and includes many blood vessels. Skeletal cells. Your skeleton is the support system of the body. It is made of 206 bones. Did you know that the bone marrow inside of the bone is able to make new and fresher blood cells? Way crazy. The bone marrow is a soft tissue inside our larger bone and is protected by the hard part of the bone, which surrounds it, of course. The bone marrow makes red and white blood cells and platelets. Red blood cells are important for transporting oxygen through the body. White blood cells destroy harmful microorganisms in your body. The immune system is like a very hungry pack of piranhas that will eat all the sausages in your fridge. But they do protect us from disease like the coronavirus. It detects and responds to a very wide variety of pathogens like viruses. Occasionally cells will go rogue. They are called cancer cells. Natural killer cells can kill them by reaching out and poking them and putting a certain chemical inside. that makes a chemical reaction happen and makes the cancer cells go from this to that. The two main cells in the human immune system are the white blood cells, which are that, and there are two types of them. They are called phagocytes. These surround pathogens and engulf them, and then bring them to T cells to activate them. And lymphocytes. These recognize proteins on the surface of pathogens and produce antibodies, which will make the other cells activate. Stem cells. Stem cells are cells that when we are in embryonic state can become any kind of cell. They're usually the ones that will make our heads, our brains, everything really. They're the ones that are able to grow into your limbs, organs, body systems. Sadly, you will lose this superpower once you are born. Although scientists have figured out how to regrow a fingertip, that's good, right? But sadly, that is all they figured out so far. Lizards, geckos, and newts can regrow limbs throughout their entire life. That's why they will drop their tail if a cat attacks. Did you know that flatworms, if cut up, each piece will grow into a new flatworm? Imagine my finger being a flatworm. Cut in half, one half will grow into a flatworm, the other will grow into a flatworm. Then you got two. They most likely evolved to have this superpower when they decided to live in very sharp rocky areas, which will slice and dice them. This ability also helps them to reproduce. All these creatures do this with stem cells. The future of cellular research. Research into stem cells will hopefully allow scientists to treat diseases that can't yet be treated. Diseases and injuries such as brain damage, right up here, loss of limbs, and type 1 diabetes and Parkinson's disease can all potentially be cured with research into stem cells. Thanks to research into cells, scientists were able to make the amazing COVID vaccine, which helps the cells in your immune system to recognize the coronavirus. I really, really hope that this vaccine will enable all of our cells to meet back in school in the very, very near future. Goodbye, cells, and thank you.